Hi, this is Elvina, and I promised I would have a little video of how to make the floating strips. This card I posted on my Facebook page with the background of the different strips of paper that look like they're kind of floating up in the air. So I'll show you how to do that. Just another little quick tidbit for you. What I did was this card, I posted it on there, I think with birthday wishes. I just set that on there. But I had also done a card to say hello because I don't know for sure who I'm going to send this to. And so I thought, well, I'll just have a couple greetings. Sometimes I do that. And then I just store it in the envelope with the card. And then I can choose when I'm ready to send it what greeting I want to put on there. Just a little side note there. I got a little sidetracked, but just an idea for you. Okay, well, anyway, these are the supplies you need. So, if you notice, mostly I do these on white cards. So then I like to put a base card to just accent with a complementary color. So that card base is going to be 5.5 by 4.25, just your usual size. And for this card, I'm going to use pumpkin pie. And then your folded card that's going to go on top of that, which will be white, would just be 8 by 5.25 and folded in half. Then you need scraps for the die cuts and the message. So like I've got a couple of flowers here that we're going to be using. And my greeting, okay. And then the window sheet and the designer paper strips. Okay, so here's the strips. Let's see if I can get them without spilling them. I've already kind of laid them on my window sheet. If you can see the reflection, there's the window sheet. And the strips. The strips are just, you need 7 of them. And they are 3.5 by 1.5. And then I did one long one that I can just put inside my card for, to coordinate a little bit. Gems and whatever you want. And then your shape. Now I'm doing it with the stitched rectangle, which I'm using the third one in this set. The third one, and then I use this one for the message. So 1, 2, 3, this one is what I'm going to cut out my layer with. I would suggest just using, don't get a real complicated shape. You could do ovals, circles, squares, rectangles like this, but you might not want the real complicated shapes for cutting this out. Okay, I think that's all. Let me just hold this up here one quick more time in case you want to take a little screenshot of that. And then, the window sheet size is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so those are the supplies you need. I'll set that over there. And the window sheets, if you've not noticed them, because they're clear, they're not always easy to see. They're on page 140 in the big catalog. This is their order number. They're $5. You get 2 sheets of 12 by 12. So you can make quite a few cards with that. And it cuts with your cutter. Okay, so there you go. There's the supplies you need. So, now to do this, all you need to do is get your strips and decide what order you want them. They can be mixed up, totally mixed up. I've kind of decided to go with keeping the light colors together. So this is from, let's see, it's the big Gingham Cottage pack that's in the Holiday Mini. And so I've used the, the pumpkin pie, the So Saffron, and the Calypso Coral. So this is the pumpkin, that's the Calypso Coral, and there's the So Saffron. So that's kind of what I use. And the black, this is kind of cool, gingham-y paper. So you'll have to look at it. It's in the Holiday Mini, and I'm sorry, I forgot to look up the page number. But anyway, I want to get to it. Okay, so what I did is I start with the top and the bottom ones. So I've got those kind of positions. So I know what order I'm doing them. So I will slide those off. And then I'll start with the bottom one. I'm gluing them on top. So this is my one that's going to go on the bottom. And I'm using up some of my old snail. Use whatever adhesive you want. This is where it's just a little bit tricky. You just want to line this up with the bottom as straight as you can. There. And then I'll do my top one. You're going to cut a little bit off because the die cut is just a little bit smaller than this window sheet. But I find it's easier if you line up the top and the bottom, and then you can position the others. Okay. In between there. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of lay this here and this here to see how much of a space I want between. You don't want too much. You don't want it to be real uneven. Okay, so kind of like that. See how I'm fiddling with it a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick them off and tape them on there. Now it's a little easier. I just line it up at the edge and go straight across. I probably could have been a little bit further apart on that one, but not too much. That's okay. As you can see, this is the back side of the other one. Gingham, if you want. Gingham, the Gingham Cottage it's a big pack. You get 30 sheets, 12 by 12. And so it costs a little more too. No, let's see. It's $30. It's more sheets than that. But anyway, so for projects, this is a good paper. Okay, keep going here. And then I got one more. Okay, I'm going to get that on here. And see, that too is the back of the top one. And let's stick that on. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my sheets, my strips all on the sheet. So it looks kind of nice on that side too. Okay, now I'm going to take this and cut it out. So I'm kind of centering it because when you cut it all out, this makes kind of a nice, cute little frame too. So let me get my Big Shot over here. Not my Big Shot, I'm sorry. My Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I call it the Big Boss. So sometimes I get confused and say the wrong thing. You know what? A lot of times I get confused and say the wrong thing. Not confused, it's just the wrong word comes out of my mouth. Okay, now if you can see, I've kind of got that centered on there. Where's my other sheet? I'm going to lay this on top. And you know, I found out with these a little bit older dies that are a little bit thicker, if you turn it at an angle, I don't know if you can see that. Let me get my light over here. It doesn't make as much noise or clunk as bad. It goes through a little bit easier. So now I have found this because it's the window sheet too. Whoops. I've got my plates a little bit crooked here. Let me get them straight. I go through 3 times. So I'm going to go forward all the way. And then I'm going to come back again. All the way. And then I'm going to go forward one more time. And we'll see if it's cut through. The window sheet's just a little bit thicker. And this is a stitched die. So, you know, it might take just a little bit more effort to get through. Okay, get that out of the way. And now let me see how we're doing. Okay, it's cut pretty good there. And if it doesn't all cut, I just take my snips and finish cutting it. Okay, so now that's done. Let me grab my scissors because I think it's not maybe cut all the way through here. Yeah, it looks like it isn't. So this one is all cut. This one's pretty much. Okay. And I have found that when I go to cut it, it's just like there's just a couple little places that it's connected. It's loose. It's almost like it's perforated along here. Okay, there's that one. And then go along here because you can see right where the cut line is. Okay, you can hear it. Yeah, it sounds perforated. Okay. So, and see, this could be used as a frame for something, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, so save that. All right, now then I'm going to put this on. Let's see, I think I want the yellow at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. So I'll just take, and they fit under here just nice, so I'm going to put a couple dimensionals under the top here. And and probably one in the middle here. Oops. Turn them so the straight edges line up and then it won't show through. And then we'll do down here and one more over here. See how that goes. There we go. Okay, put those out of the way. Now, get them all unstuck, right? Okay, so now let's kind of see if I can look through the phone here and center this pretty much. I think that's pretty centered. Okay, ta-da! See, there, now you got your floating strips. They really do kind of look like they're floating, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this card because we can't go with a half-done card. So you can do whatever you want. I've got a couple flowers here. I think I'll just stick them down. Like so, and then I've got my greeting. I want them to be down a little bit off the edge. And then we'll put the greeting right across in the center there. So let me just stick my flowers on a little bit. Oops. Actually, I'm going to put those on with glue dots. Just because. Sometimes I like to use the glue dots. And I had attached them with a glue dot. And so that's going to stick over, and I want to make sure that it's stuck to something. Okay. Someone told me, another demonstrator shared this idea with tying a ribbon around so people don't just unroll this all the way. And I know then kind of where the next one is, and it keeps the dots covered so they don't, okay, gotta grab it in the right spot. So it keeps the dots covered so they don't get exposed and stick to everything. Okay, so now let me grab a couple more, one for up there. And if you press your item to the dot, then it comes up off the paper pretty easy. Otherwise you get it all gummed up on your finger, and that's no fun. Okay, I'll get this one. Let's stick this flower. This is from Sending Smiles. These flowers are. I'm just going to kind of crisscross them there a little bit. Stick them down, okay. And then the birthday wishes is just going to go right across here. Oh, yeah, see, I stamped something on the back, and I think I'll use the glue dots on here too. Okay, come on, push. Well, that glue dot does not want to come up. Okay, defective glue dot, I guess. I'm going to put another one right beside it so it does. Okay, and then we'll do one down here. Okay, we'll just put that across there. Kind of like it's holding the flowers in place. And then I thought I would use the word sending. Whoops. Across the top. So it doesn't cover all the strips up. But yet it sends the sending birthday wishes, and then you can put inside what you want to put inside. Okay, so let me actually put this piece in here. Okay. Well, come on. Keep going. Should have done that on my mat. Put this on my... I really like that silicone mat. I'm leaving just a little bit of a white border. There. Okay. I really like this silicone mat for going. And then this card is going on here. So let me... Oh, maybe I got some dirt on there. I don't want to get it on here. Let me stick... I like to stick it down good by the fold. Then the other places, I'm not as worried, but that way, that's kind of where it gets the most pull, so might as well have it stuck down there good. Okay, and then we just kind of center it on here. Stick that down. Okay. Now the card is assembled and I just have to put my sending on there. So this is another tip. This doesn't really have to do with the floating, but this is a tip I've learned, and I think I've mentioned it before. I never liked using the glue because I got glue all over my fingers. But I found out if you use just a gentle touch, and if you've got the silicone mat, it's really nice, or maybe a piece of wax paper. I squeeze to see how much is coming out, because sometimes you'll get a whole bloop, and then it can go over here, but because I don't want a big bloop on here. I can see it's coming just a little, so I'm just going to put little dots. Gentle touch is what I was told. So just put some little dots here and there, wherever. And I'm going to put the top and all over so that this will stick down on my card. Okay, so some little dots. Some of those are getting a little too big, but I think we're good. Maybe a little bitty one there. Okay. And the hardest part is just picking it up so you don't get it all over you. Okay, and I'm just going across. What I didn't think was I'm going to overlap here a little bit, aren't I? I didn't think about that. Okay, well, stick it down. There. There we go. Now we got our sending birthday wishes. Now, I need the little black dot for the eye, but since I thought, oh, that's so hard, that little paper dot. So what I'm going to do is actually add some little dots here. So I'm taking one of the little black matte dots, and I'm going to put it above this eye here as a dot. There. We got our dot there. Okay, and maybe we'll put a dot on either side of this, just for a little bit of something. Okay, see that? There we go. All right, there we go. So there, pretty easy to do, fun to do, just another way to use up scraps. Okay, I had some left over from, well, I think it was Celebration last winter, the paper. And so I just used some of those scraps and I put some of the seashells on there, and I've got some bubbles and a greeting, and there. Again, it's kind of a cool look. So I'm going to bring back my barn so you can see the 3 cards there. There we go. Okay. Thank you so much for looking. Talk to you again. Bye.